What is going on, everybody? My name is Corey, and welcome. I almost said welcome back. I'm just so used to that.
Wow.
Welcome to the first ever Sports Beast podcast, where we just kind of just talk about topics or things that come up or something that catches our eye, and we just kind of debate about them or talk about them or just kind of tell you how we're feeling about them. So that's what we're going to do today. We have a couple topics. So we're just going to jump right in. Obviously, I'm sorry. On the other side of the line, other side of the phone call, we got your boy Cody from Ballers on a Budget.
Howdy.
Be sure to check out his channel, BALLER money sign on a budget. YouTube. I don't know if you have a Facebook yet or not.
Yep, same. Ballers on a budget.
Ballers on a Budget. Be sure to check him out. I'm ready to jump right in if you are.
Let's get it.
The first one I want to talk about. Sorry, I just dropped my keyboard. It's only I dropped a box of Legos. First one I want to talk about, and just to kind of get this quickly out of the way, like I'd mentioned. Tell me a couple things that kind of bother you in the sports world, whatever it may be. What bothers you the most in the sports world?
That goes into quite a bit. I think what bugs me the most is a noisy bench player, I want to say. Noisy bench players. You know, if the greats want to talk, let them talk. If the bench players want to talk, nobody should listen.
At least talk to the other bench players. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I can kind of understand that, but you got to think about the enthusiasm behind it, though. They're trying to, cheer their team on, keep, hype them up.
I'm talking noisy, like unrealistically noisy. Like, don't sit there and think you're the best when we all know, including yourself, you got a spot on the bench.
I can understand that.
Coming from my own house that doesn't even sit on the bench. So, but that's what bugs me, at least.
Oh, I can understand that.
And refs in general, just refs.
Ref. Hate them all.
Get them all out of here.
No, I think they do have a very tough job calling any sport because everything's a foul nowadays. I was going to do my own video about pretty much refs, but I was looking into what they have to do. They have to, first of all, be a college graduate.
And I'm out.
They have to take classes to be a ref. Obviously, you have to have experience. So you do like high school games or little league games or whatever it may be. You got to have something on that resume. And then you have to go get certified to be a ref. So you take the classes, get the experience, and then go get certified, which is basically just a giant test.
No, they got to do quite a bit. Even prep before every game, they got to do quite a bit.
Yeah, and they watch film during the game, during the halftime breaks and stuff. And I didn't even know they did that. I just kind of thought they,
they got their own head coach of refs in there giving their halftime speech. We got this.
Which that kind of
no hesitation. You blow that whistle.
That kind of leads me into, and I'll give you two quick things here. The two things that I hate the most. Stop apologizing for missing calls after games. Like if it costs you something, they always write a note or write a letter on Monday morning or whatever after the game.
Not the ref, the league.
They apologize for missing those calls and whatever. Like everybody watching already knows you missed a call.
Yeah. And we weren't even there.
So the thing is, it it brings more heat than it should. If you just let it go, I'm sure half of the people would be like, yeah, he missed a call, so what? We're still playing a game. We still got a game on Sunday. That's one of them. The other thing is, and I don't know if there's a reason, but when somebody gets fouled and they're going up they get up to the free throw line, team shoots a free throw, the opposite team will grab the ball. They'll hug and make out with that ball for like a good 10 seconds before they chuck it back at the ref. They'll fingertip it up and rub their palms all over it, put their belly on it. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
Making sure the ball hasn't changed since the last 3 seconds they haven't had it.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was thinking. Like, are they checking the pressure in the ball, making sure dude wasn't like flattening it?
Well, like I
Tom
told
Brady in
you, Rajon Rondo used to fuck with the ball all the time. He'd grab the ball, wipe his sweat on it, give it back and stuff. And he definitely tried to mess with it.
Like, I don't know. Like, the game is already long
Yeah.
enough as it is. And you have to add another 5-6 seconds before you give it back to the ref.
Yeah. Like the games are already 4 hours long. We get to watch 2 hours of game.
Yeah. And you're not, I get it. You're not adding that much time, depending on how much time you give the other team at the free throw line. But that all adds up.
In basketball, at least, I don't know about soccer, how they line up for goal kicks or whatever, but football, let's be honest, they get plenty of breaks. They get a break between every single damn play.
About every 3 minutes, they're getting a break.
Yeah. Basketball, they don't always have breaks. They're constantly running down. So when they get lined up, you can see them, watch them. They'll toss the ball in the air a couple times, sit there bouncing with it, and the whole time they're like, they're just trying to catch their breath, get a little mini timeout going.
I mean, I get it. Maybe it's just because I don't know the real reason behind it.
I get it. I mean, I've been on the court and not being able to breathe, like you're gonna die in the next 5 seconds. So you try to do anything to stall before the ball starts moving again. But come on, you're making millions of dollars, dude. If you die, you die. Part of the entertainment.
At least you died rich. I'm gonna die poor.
Right? Be in my shoes. Be in my flip-flops because I can't afford shoes that cover the toe.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, just a little segment that I kind of wanted to get into, kind of get us talking, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy.
Before we get off of this ref subject, I do. Do you think NFL should slow down time and go to instant replay religiously for calls and everything?
I think on big calls, yes.
See, now what's going to differentiate a big call in the first quarter that could take away a touchdown? We know Bengals had a couple of those last year to where they literally probably shouldn't have had a touchdown, but they gave it to them. What constitutes a big call in the first and then in the fourth? Because we're all going to use the excuse, if there was a controversial call in the fourth, you could have done something about it in the first. You could have been not even in that position. You know what I mean?
I necessarily don't even think of it as a big call, but if you're just hand fighting, referee to back, or not referee,
referees out there hand fighting.
receiver to back, just hand fighting. Let them play. When the receiver is being held, you see the jersey, or if you, I don't know if you watch the XFL.
No.
The XFL had the best review system every sport should adopt ever. Obviously, I think they were flying around those drones with the cameras. Refs had cameras. Pylons had cameras. Everybody had cameras. But what they would do is they had an Xbox controller. They would zoom into the commentary box, or whatever you want to call it. They would show the dude running the replay on the screen, and it looked like he was playing a game. instant replay for Madden. That's what he was doing. And he would be like, okay, there's a little bit of an arm extension here. This is why we're going to call this foul or this penalty.
Explain yourself.
It took
maybe it'll stop them
seconds.
getting death threats.
It took seconds, but they weren't going to New York and be like, oh, this is the call that I would make. Oh, okay, y'all suck. I'm not calling it.
Yeah, but what bugs me is they'll call the experts in, but they'll never take their actual opinion.
If you're calling them in, call the fucking play.
Right? Like, we got Dan Blandino here. What do you think about the call? Oh, well, to me, that's an obvious pass interference.
No pass interference.
Yeah, and then they call no pass interference, and then he's just left there being like, I would have called different.
Yeah, I would have called different. But
don't
obviously,
even get him in here to get me wild up.
Yeah, some stupid excuse is like, I would have called different, but I'm not on the field judging this thing, so whatever.
No, but they could have gave you a phone call like, hey, you looking at this?
Yeah, why you even called? Why are you wasting the time? Here we are wasting time to talk to somebody while you're looking at a play that should realistically take you 10 seconds.
Controversy creates views.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the XFL, they were quick and they explained everything. He said, this is the penalty. This is why I'm calling it. I'm subtracting 10 yards or whatever it was, 15 yards back. And that was it. And then they'd go on to the next one. If they did it, another 5 seconds. That's what
the NBA does in the final 2 minutes. I just think they need to speed up their process. You're telling me all that time in the booth, you can't dial in real fast exactly where the foul happened or where the out of bounds happened. Slow it down, angle
all
yourself.
Those cameras and all those
exactly.
People.
Like,
and nobody's watching it live or
like
something?
You just said, the XFL is doing it with Xbox controllers. You guys got thousands of dollars worth of computer equipment over there. The camera angles bug me as well for the NFL. There's multiple times where you're like, there's no way you don't have a better view than that. And then the ref thing, slowing down the final 2 minutes, looking at every single flag that was potentially called and not being afraid to reverse those calls.
Honestly, I think that's what it is.
But only in the final 2 minutes. You do that all game. First off, nobody's going to play a game.
It all starts with you have to be consistent. If you're going to call a foul in the first, you have to call it in the fourth.
Fans and the players, I'm positive, I'm not a player myself, but I know damn well they would all appreciate some damn consistency.
Consistency is key.
Because when you come in the fourth quarter, you start pulling people, be like, yo, I've been doing this all game.
Yeah. If you're not calling it, don't call it in the fourth. If you are calling it, call it. Because if he, like you said, if he pulls you in the fourth, he's been doing it all game. You're like, what the hell?
Now
this
it's like
how
you
I've
can't
been
play
playing
football anymore in general.
front of you all game, and now you're calling this one. That's where it gets tricky. Well, not necessarily tricky, but as a player, that's where it could get confusing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think if you're consistent, every call is going to be the same. And basically just let the guys hand fight. I mean, that's what they get paid for.
Right, they're in pads. Shit.
Yeah, if that's the case, put flags on them.
Hand fighting's the easiest part of their damn job that day.
And you can see when somebody's held. You can see when somebody pushes off. You can see pass interference. Take another class if you have to. Taking multiple of them.
Add another 1 or 2 reps on the damn field. You feel
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But I'm good with this one.
Same.
You have one. Something about censored media. Go ahead and tell me what I'm about to be talking about, because I have no clue.
Because the FCC won't let me be.
So let me be me.
No, I just think it's funny. I know Elon Musk just bought Twitter. There's supposed to be this whole free speech freaking movement going around. And I've been seeing clips to where it looks like every single news outlet has been posting like, oh, beware of false media or whatever. Like, motherfuckers, you do know you've been the one providing us with a lot of this false media for the past years, correct? And with the internet, how it's going nowadays, I don't like the false media. I can understand why someone's sitting at home trolling like, oh man, wonder if people really believe Santa's real or something. And then go online, make up a bunch of information, and then people take it as gospel. That's not the troll's fault. It's you for taking a random page at gospel.
Yeah, that's you for only looking at one
Yeah.
thing.
But you can't expect everyone who hops on a computer with a mouse in hand to be competent enough to look at who they're listening to online. They can barely look at who they're listening to in front of them, let alone online, where a web page can be 10 times more deceiving. So the false information and stuff. So lately, Facebook. I'm like what I like to call a shit poster. I rarely post my family and stuff. It's just a bunch of memes, funny things, sports jokes, dirty jokes, whatever it may be. I can't even post a meme or anything, even joking, obviously joking. Like the meme could say, COVID will blow your ass cheeks out, both of them simultaneously.
Both of them.
And smell like gummy bears while doing it. Like it could be something completely preposterous. Nobody but a 2-year-old would believe you. And then it would ask you like, oh, did you fact check this?
Yeah.
Are you going to post this? Like, yeah, I did fact check it. Okay. My ass does smell like that. Like this kind of stuff I think it's hampering our advancement more than it is allowing us to just be ourselves, ultimately what free speech is supposed to be.
No, I do agree with you. It's just going to boil down to, you can't just look at one site. You can't just look at one. You can't just watch one news media. And honestly, that's why I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
I watch sports, and that's pretty much all the TV that I watch. Sports, I don't like the news because they're not posting anything good. Obviously, the sadder stories and the more dramatized stories tend to get more views.
Exactly.
Because that's what people want. For some reason, that's what humans want, not people. That's what humans want. But I think it's not the job. And you were saying the trolls on the computer. It's not the troll's job to tell you the correct news. It's not the fact checkers, if that's what you want to call them. It's not the fact checkers' job to tell you why this isn't the correct news. It's kind of your job to, one, use common sense, which very few people have nowadays. It's very hard to find somebody who uses common sense on a regular basis. But then just look into something a little farther than one paragraph or the headline yourself. That's what it seems to be. If it's not delivered to you in 3 seconds, Facebook has these videos, Facebook Reels. They're quick videos. YouTube has YouTube Shorts. Obviously, TikTok was founded on short videos. If it's not short, nobody cares to read it. If the truth isn't in the headlines, and you can't be persuaded by the headlines, nobody cares. Nobody wants to read it, and you're probably not believing it. And again, which is why I don't like watching the news, because nothing is, believe it or not, nothing is really what they even say it is. No matter what which news station you're watching, nothing is to the full extent of what you're saying it is. There's always, it's human nature. People are going to hide stuff. People are going to try to not tell you stuff because they think it's better for you. If you don't know, people are going to over dramatize something. People are just going to put stuff out there to see how you react and don't really care what you think.
Yeah, like we're doing now.
Yeah, but we're not trying to put out false stuff.
Speak for yourself.
I'm
But no, I
building
mean,
bridges. I'm that troll.
I've heard the argument like, oh, well, if people would just stop trolling and treat it serious and post real things, that's a troll. I mean, there is a difference, but what's the difference behind a troll posting false information to get a laugh, to get angry clickbait, whatever, or somebody who's genuinely believes something that's false? It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's how they were taught. They genuinely believe something is real or true, and it's not. So they go on trying to spread what they feel is real. And in fact, they're spreading false. So again, there's really no difference. Anybody can go out there and put information on the internet. I do like the thing to where you said everyone just has to think and read and research for themselves. That's in a perfect world where people just don't do that nowadays, like you said.
Yeah.
And in a perfect world, the truth would be in the headlines. But that's not a perfect world either, because if the truth is in the headlines, they're not clicking anymore.
No.
We are living in a world where we got to draw them in first, and then we got them. That type of thing. It's like everyone's fishing for us. Nobody's out there feeding the fish with my hand just because so they can live. Everyone's out there feeding it to catch something. There's always you get something in return for what you're given, regardless if it's true information that should be out there anyways.
Yeah.
I just propose that we have one, maybe two, I mean, I don't know, news sites. And it's not even a news site. It can be a general fucking information based on the city you live in, the state you want to listen to, whatever. But there needs to be one unbiased person and then two other unbiased people that just feel differently. Like in politics, that's where I think our politics go wrong. We're putting one on this side, one on this side, grouping them like that, and then putting them against each other, watching them fight, getting clicks and views off of the fucking drama we have, because humans inevitably like that. I think it should be one smart guy who agrees this way, one smart guy who agrees this way, one smart guy who can agree from all points of view, mediate the whole damn thing, only spit out factual things that can progress the conversation, not, oh, her ass is huge, stupid shit like that. Oh, the old man has dementia, whatever, Hillary, whatever. Leave that shit to the shit posting. We don't want you guys to shit post for us. We're funnier. We'll do that better. Stick to what we want. We want you guys to be honest, and we want you guys to educate us. But right now, the news doesn't do either of that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think that's common sense to get three neutral parties, not even neutral. Even if they are neutral, that's fine. Have a conversation about this shit. Honestly, though, don't sit there and, like you said, you're hiding aspects of a certain thing so that the aspect of what you're talking about looks better. A half truth is still a full lie.
Wax on, wax off. Jesus.
Right?
A half truth. I'll get that tatted on my neck.
A half tub is still a full wiener.
So I do like what you said. Basically, if you take two, say you're on the internet only, you don't do any, like you're a reporter, but you don't have any like videos, or you're basically the newspaper, essentially. Verify two reliable sources in the state, could be every state. Give them the check mark if you have to prove
All right, give them that blue little check
they
to make
are
them feel good.
verified, and that they continually tell the truth on a constant basis. Or do you make spreading lies through media illegal and finable?
Be like, I don't think you can make it finable, because there's people out there that don't knowingly spread the lies. You know what I mean? Like, people are out there right now saying you can't get pregnant in hot tubs. You gonna arrest those people?
No, I see. I don't. You can have your shit posters and your meme posters. I'm talking about credible sources, like
If
people in
credible
the
sources,
newspapers.
yes. If a
'Cause
guy from Harvard is out there posting untrue facts just to push a narrative, yes, I think that should be punishable. Take away that blue check, maybe.
Yeah.
But
That way,
ultimately,
hey, I should probably do a little more digging. I should probably read past the headline
yeah. But
and see what else he has
ultimately,
to
the
say.
problem with what I mentioned was like 3 unbiased people. They say power corrupts all. We need people who don't want power. They want to educate people because they know the populace can use some of the brains that they have.
Yeah.
I don't think we need, I don't want to get into presidential talk or whatever. That's what I think our problem is. We have people at the helm who are there for just the face of the video, essentially.
Shits and giggles.
Yeah.
That's all they're there for.
We're not trying to bring smart people together and discuss our problems. We're trying to separate everything for views.
Yeah, I completely agree. Do you have anything else you want to say about that?
No, I know you were going in the media direction, and that's what bugs me in the media. Because I tried to post something, and it just because it had an F word or two, it literally refused to let me post. Like, fine, I'll make my own Facebook. And that's what's crazy. Maybe we need to section off the internet. Like, hey, if you don't want to stimulate your brain, you just want to laugh, don't take any of this to heart. Here's this section. Maybe that'll help the comedians nowadays not getting slapped up on stage and stuff or tackled. And in this section, we only have verified, educated people posting educational things. And then if we want to learn, we go there. We don't go there trying to debate it. We go there trying to learn.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a genius or nothing. I don't know how you would section off the internet.
That's what I'm saying.
To,
Do we
I
need
guess
like
you'd
a
have to
cyber
sell
police?
it. Yeah, you'd have to sell it in like a bundled package. It's like TV. If you ain't got the channels, you ain't getting it. If you didn't buy the education part of the
this
internet,
dude's poor. He couldn't get the educational channel.
But yeah, I mean that would be the only logical thing. If you can't pay for the educational or whatever section or a certain section of the internet, you just wouldn't have access to
laughing in the back.
Yeah.
Looking at shit posts.
If you only want internet for memes, it is what it is.
And then you'll go on something that's clearly a joke, and then you'll look through the comments, and there are people that are taking it for real. And then you're sitting there thinking, like, there's no way you think this is really going on.
I get there's a lot of serious stuff happening or have happened in the world, but you get one life. If you're not literally trying to make it the best one you can, I'm not even gonna say that because they probably won't let me post this if I say what
exactly what we're getting into.
Yeah. But if you're not trying to make this life the best one and enjoy every day, yeah, you can have a couple mad days and sad days and stuff like that. But if you're constantly out here mad at somebody like me and Cody because you don't like the joke we put up on Facebook, what are you doing? Even if you are just trying to get a rise out of people, cool. Like, that's awesome. Who cares?
Right. Power to you. You reeled them in and they bit.
Yeah.
Just so you know, 90% of the other people didn't bite.
Yeah.
That's what I love. All right, we got limited time. So I'm going to say this once about your lives and getting mad about the internet. And may not be able to post a video after I say this. We'll see. But I'm going to say this once, just like Michael Jackson did, motherfuckers. You guys need to lighten up. Okay. Probably one of my favorite quotes ever.
All right. So that was not even that was not even like sports related.
But it's diving in. We're wrapping it back into the sports relation. So go ahead and do it.
It does bring us to our next topic, which I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, half asleep, and I wasn't even sure that I saw the video correctly, but Draymond Green obviously plays for the Warriors, but he's also got a YouTube channel it's just called the Draymond Green Show, of just him talking about what has happened, what will happen, what, whatever, just his views on things, which I think is pretty cool, obviously. He saw a video of some dude named Mad Dog Chris Russo. I don't know who he is, mainly because I don't watch First Take. He said something or mentioned something during one of his, I don't know if it was like a post-game interview or a halftime.
Shut up and dribble.
Yeah, he said, shut up and dribble. The world is tired of Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Basically, who cares? Do your job, which I think is kind of messed up to say. No matter what, he's a person. He can have his opinions. Whether or not anybody likes those opinions is up to the person who doesn't like them.
No one cares if you like chicken nuggets, dude. You're a bus boy, okay? It's like that.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. And the funniest thing was J.J. Reddick, who I just started paying attention to recently because I think he's awesome at his job.
Very smart. Yeah.
Very knowledgeable, but I just like the way he does things. And he was just kind of leaning back with why are you talking like that kind of a look on his face. So Draymond Green basically responds to it. He basically says, I'm not your puppet, whatever. But what he said that caught my interest was basically J.J. Reddick and Draymond Green are now the new media. Nobody who doesn't know what they're talking about is not going to be able to speak on said subjects that they don't know anything about. And basically they're taking over. Basically they're changing, I should say, the way media is going to be done.
They're starting it. They aren't getting rid of the old way, because you get rid of the old way, you're getting rid of people like you and me. People who have never played basketball in a pro setting, but we're having opinions about it. Doesn't mean we can't have our opinions. It's just, I think they need to show a little bit more respect, because first off, they made their names. Stephen A is who he is. Skip Bayless is who he is because other people play sports. It's not the same with Shannon. Shannon was out there. He did exactly what he wanted to do, and he did exactly what he's talking about. He did what he's criticizing people for. It's like Shannon and me telling people, oh, you pussy, you can't do 50 sit-ups, when we're sitting on the couch and we can't even do a fraction of that. That's what Draymond's angry about. That's like coming up on the Pat Bev. I don't like what Pat Bev said, and I don't think it's true, because you can't just disrespect a Hall of Famer like Chris Paul, but I feel he should be allowed. He's more so entitled to say that kind of stuff because he's out there doing it, and he has done it. If Skip Bayless came up and said that, oh, Chris Paul's a cone. That's what we all say. No, he can't guard nobody. But they're not out there doing it. It's a hell of a lot more disrespectful. And I get where the players are coming from, but I also get where the sports commentators are coming from. We're in our emotions. We're in our feels. We're trying our best to be entertaining in a way. And some people feel the need to lash out at others to get those views. Stephen A is one of them. He gets loud, he gets angry, and he gets mean. It's how he got his new big contract. Right? There is a certain level of intelligence. You have to know what a fucking ball is, right? That's about it. But that's where it pisses me off, is these people who have never done what they do and then start bashing them like they've always done. I've been guilty of it. And even then, I'll always follow it up with oh, that dude's a bum. Nah, but that's me talking. Look. So I know where I set. Unlike the other guys who get a check for talking like this. So therefore, gets that risk reward in their brain that, oh, I get a paycheck when I'm controversial. So therefore, it feels like they need to be more controversial in order to stay relevant To whereas if ballers come up on the stage and they start talking, they're relevant because we just want to listen to get their perspective.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I can see this both sides of the thing. Like when I first saw it, I was thinking like you, like, man, well, what about people like us? You know, we haven't done, other than recreationally, we haven't played professional sports, you know, but we do have a love for the game, regardless of whatever level that may be. We still love the game.
That allows us to talk about it. We should be allowed to, regardless of what the athletes feel.
So we're allowed to form our opinion on something, whether it's right or wrong. I mean, if you're out here saying, you know, Michael Jordan was never good, obviously everybody who pays attention to Michael Jordan knows that's just a lie. So, I mean, that part of it is what it is. But looking at it from their perspective, kind of mixed with ours, because of how well these two, and I do think Draymond will be a great reporter or analyst or whatever he does afterwards. I think he will be phenomenal. So J.J. Reddick and Draymond being kind of the future of the new media, I think is awesome, because that gives me a higher standard to set myself. You know what I mean? Like I'm no longer, I like Colin Cowherd most days. Stephen A, he's all right. I just don't really pay attention to him because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel differently about them than I do Draymond and JJ Reddick. Same way with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. I like Shannon. I like his views. Maybe it is a player thing that I like.
Exactly. Because look at TNT. You got Shaq, Chuck, Ernie, and Kenny. Ernie's the only one that hasn't played at a pro level that I know of. But he's not disrespectful. He sits back. He lets the other three go at it and stuff. And he's kind of like the mediator and stuff, throwing little jokes. But he never throws jabs, if you haven't noticed. He's not swinging. Yeah. He's just enjoying, giving his 2 cents. If people want to listen, they can listen. But I aspire to be Ernie, someone who sits up there with the greats, doing what we're doing is just talking, and being able to listen to their perspective and not be disrespectful myself with my own dissection of what I've been seeing or hearing.
Yeah, I agree. I just like that a little bit of higher standard.
Yeah, like absolutely. You damn well know if they get a cast of all-star ballers to talk, even if they're mumbling through that podcast or something, I'm watching that more than I'm watching the actual experts.
Yeah, I agree.
Wrap this up real fast.
Yep, we are running a little bit short on time. That was the first Sports Beast podcast. Cody, go ahead and plug your channel real quick.
Ballers on a Budget. Go and follow them. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch.
That was Cody with Ballers on a Budget. My name is Corey with Sports Beast. We are definitely doing this again, so make sure to tune in next time.
Peace.